Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another review. Welcome back to AEW Dynamite. And we are going to be reviewing the show emanating from Cardiff, Wales. The show before AEW All In 2024. Let's get into it. So the show started off with Mercedes Moné and Brooke Baker doing their contract signing. And this really kicked off their feud again because their feud was really hot. Then it slowed down a bit. We know why. Brooke Baker getting involved in other things. And now it's picked up again from this promo. Brooke Baker actually cooked Mercedes Moné in this promo. She actually cooked her, which is pretty surprising, I'm not going to lie. Really, really good stuff. It felt like there was some real meaning behind this, real back and forth. The main topic was how they influence women's wrestling in their own respective sides of things. And it got really good. They weren't allowed to touch each other. They weren't allowed to get involved. They weren't allowed to attack each other. But at the end of the promo, Brooke Baker attacked Camille and then did a crossbody on top of Camille and Mercedes Moné. Really, really good stuff. I'm excited for this match. But I do think Mercedes Moné needs to win it all in. But you'll get my predictions very, very soon, probably tomorrow. So look out for that if you're interested in my predictions. With that being said, we then moved on to the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, unfortunately, as he took on Dynamite Kid's nephew. What's his name? Tony Bellington? Is that his name? Something Bellington. Forgive me. I've watched maybe 2 matches now of his very first one and this one, so forgive me. But yeah, Jericho gets the win, obviously. Fairly easy win with a bit of back and forth, but fairly easy win at the end of the day. Bellington looks pretty good though. Surprisingly, he looks athletic, looks fast paced, looks pretty explosive. So I'm happy with that. Then Jericho says that after the match, when Jericho's won, he gets on the mic and he says that if Hook was here in Cardiff, he would rip him limb from, or he says branch from branch, but he's just stupid with that Learning Tree stuff. Limb from limb, in other words. And that's obviously him. I don't know if he's expecting Hook to come out or not, but anyway, Hook then comes out. He's about to attack Chris Jericho, but Big Bill saves the day and takes out Hook with a big chokeslam. Now, I don't know if this is Chris Jericho. Was this Chris Jericho trying to entice Hook to come out, or was Jericho seriously unsure if Hook was there or not? Don't know. Doesn't really matter. Probably not. The point is, Jericho and Big Bill were left standing tall with Hook on the ground once again. Surely Hook wins at All In, right? Surely. But like I said, predictions, we'll get to that. We then had Toni Storm versus Saraya, and this match was alright. Maybe a bit slow at times, maybe a bit sloppy at times, but it was alright. Nothing bad, On this whole show, actually, nothing bad. Nothing bad. Even the Chris Jericho stuff was alright because I was quite interested in seeing Bellington. If that's his name. I could be saying his name wrong the whole time. But anyway. Yeah, there was a bit of a World of Sport action between Toni Storm, doing the... If you know what World of Sport is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know what World of Sport is, that is a video for another day. So, yeah, let's move on from that. We then, at the end of the match, we had Toni Storm kissing Harley Cameron on the apron. Don't know why, but yet that ended up happening. I think Harley Cameron was trying to do a distraction. Toni Storm kissed her. Anyway, at the end of the day, Toni Storm landed her finisher, and that was it. She won. She retained her title against Saraya, and Saraya got a nice hometown, home country, home area. I know Wales is not England, but it's the UK. She got a nice reception there. Wasn't anything. It was just to get Saraya a match, and yeah, that's pretty much what this match was. Now, does Toni Storm keep her title on Saturday? Who knows? So now we had Ospreay and MJF on the mics. So out comes Will Ospreay. Huge reception. The crowd absolutely loved him singing his song. Banger theme song, by the way. Singing his song. Chants for Ospreay. This was really, really good stuff. You could see Ospreay is the clear hometown hero here, obviously. And it's not... The people are really, really embracing him. That's what I was trying to think about saying. Not just, he's the hometown, let's give him a little pop. No, people are really embracing him. Ospreay cooked MJF on the mic, guys. Ospreay really cooked MJF on the mic, saying that Tony Khan asked him to come to All In last year because Tony Khan said that he couldn't rely on his champion for booking or for having a good match. We know MJF was champion last year at All In. He was saying that Adam Cole and him weren't having a great match. Nobody was talking about that. Everyone was talking about him and Adam Cole doing stuff to each other. I'm not gonna say it here. So that was really good stuff. Then MJF went on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and this whole promo just went too long there afterwards. It went on too long. There was a nice sweet spot, and they missed it totally. They missed that sweet spot. But then MJF says something about Will Ospreay's family and his his wife. It's not really, I don't know what. Yeah, his lady says that the next child she has won't even be Ospreay's child, which is a bit damn, like, calm down. But anyway, he then asks Tony Schiavone, who everyone knows can talk to Tony Khan on the headset, how much of a fine it would be to hit MJF right now. And he says £100,000, which is $127,000. And Ospreay thinks about it, and he says, oh, it's worth it, and just clocks MJF, goes at him. The security is pulling them away, and then MJF gets the ring when nobody's looking and hits Will Ospreay with the ring, leaving him in a bloody mess before landing a brainbuster onto Ospreay, leaving him in the ring, like, man down. So that was pretty cool. MJF still getting the upper hand, getting the boos in England, because we know, or not in England, in the UK, because we know on Saturday Ospreay's winning, surely, right? Like, surely. Anyway, we then moved on to Claudio Castagnoli versus Kazuchika Okada for the Continental Classic title thing. That title confuses me. But anyway, this is a really great match. Like, what do you expect? It's Okada and Claudio Castagnoli. You're gonna get a good wrestling match. It did, however, go to another time limit draw, but only 20 minutes this time, not 60 minutes like MJF and Ospreay. And that meant that, well, there was no finish. And I'm not sure if it's been announced. I don't think, as of recording, there isn't an announcement for Claudio versus Okada. But I do feel there will be an announcement for All In, because having Okada not be on All In doesn't really make sense. You're paying the guy so much money. I'm pretty sure you'd have him on the card, especially if you're dragging him all the way out to the UK. So I assume that match is going to be announced, the rematch for that match. And I think Claudio is going to come out as the champion if that match happens. But we then moved on to FTR and Darby. Oh, wait, before that happened, the Elite came out and they said Claudio needs to leave the ring. We have a match right now. But then out came FTR, or they were going to beat him up, but then out came Darby and FTR. There was a big fight, and the match started between FTR, Darby Allin, and the Elite, being the Young Bucks and the Scapegoat Jack Perry. Why did I forget his name for a moment? Anyway, decent match, fairly quick. Didn't go on as long as I thought it would, because these 6-man matches sometimes go on way too long. But in the end, we saw the Superplex from Dax, we saw the Splash from Cash, and we saw the Coffin Drop from Darby, and they got the win on one of the Young Bucks. I think it might have been Nick or Matt. One of them. I can't remember who it was now. So that's interesting. Another match, pretty average, pretty decent, nothing bad. So I can't complain whatsoever. But we then had... Oh, that was our main event, actually. Yeah, kind of an underwhelming main event if I look at it that way now. I maybe would have swapped the Claudio and Okada match around. But anyway, now we're looking at Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson. Swerve Strickland comes out and cuts a promo. A very, 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 very long promo. I can't deal with these long promos, guys. They I know WWE does long promos, but I feel like they know how to do it slightly better. I don't know. This is not a comparison between AEW and WWE. We all know WWE is better at the sports entertainment side of things, and that is what a promo is. Or that is what these long promos are. So I feel like WWE does that better. AEW does some of the in-ring work better. But it was just far too long, guys. Anyway, he then calls out Danielson, saying he will make sure that he is for sure retired after this match. He will be following Danielson. He will be wherever Danielson is after this match to ensure that he does not come back and come out of retirement. That was pretty much... He's going to be a stalker, in other words. That's what he's telling us. Then Bryan Danielson comes... Oh, and he mentions, like, beating up Danielson in front of his daughter, who's going to be at All In. All of that. A little bit rough, but yeah. Danielson then comes out, running knees, sends Strickland packing, and comes and cuts a promo of his own, and basically just tells everyone that he is the best effing wrestler alive. Those were his words. So I'm still excited for that match. It kind of feels like they ran out of things to do now, leading up to this episode of Dynamite. Feels like they did everything, and now this episode of Dynamite, they had to like fill gaps of how do we keep these stories going for one more week. So it felt like that, but nothing too bad. Honestly, nothing too bad. I enjoyed this episode of Dynamite. It went fairly quickly. There wasn't a lot of fodder. The fact that they went all the way to London means there wasn't a lot of nobody's wrestling here, or nobody's here at all. So you didn't get a lot of fodder with just nobody wrestlers. So that was quite enjoyable. So, with that being said, that was AEW Dynamite. I'll be with you for your AEW All-In predictions real soon. And yeah, we'll then cover the review of All In on Sunday night. Well, Sunday night for me. Don't know what time it is for Americans. So we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.